Mr. Pratik Kumar, founder of Aonami.Inc.
When was the last you would have gone to any bank? What are the chances that the server is down?
2 out of 10 times that the server was always down. So, being friends to co-founder, how the relationship changed between you and your friend?
No nonsense. Like we just talk cut to cut business.
And these kind of hustles are the things that you look in the past and you'll talk about that is what happened, and these will become memories, right? There will be good days, bad days, and everything, right?
You should love the profession you are in.
What should stop a founder from not to start?
Be receptive to what people are saying. Talk to as many folks as you can. The perfect time is now.
So, if it was Pratik of 2019, would he build Aonami? Hello everyone, welcome back to our 4th episode for Build with Salaah, Build Businesses with Salaah. So today I will be actually taking you through a very exciting founder who's actually building in a space which is the heart of India today, which is Fintech. The likes of Paytm, then the Razorpays and the other players in the market, even like the PhonePe, have changed the entire market, be it just paying your credit card bills or paying through UPI or doing anything. The finance industry has taken a major revolution. That is where today we have with us Mr. Pratik Kumar, who's the founder of Aonami.Inc. And he today is going to take us through his journey of fintech and how did he start and what did he do. In this episode, we are going to actually meet Pratik and understand how the entire industry is shifting, what is very important for the founders in today who are building in fintech, and how the industry is moving towards in the next 10 years. Pratik, much said and talked about the fintech industry, but knowing you since ages, right? Being friends since ages, knowing you since ages and seeing your journey, right? How did you come out from employment to be a founder in these many years?
So, first of all, thanks a lot, Ketan, for the wonderful introduction. So, as you know, like I graduated in 2021, and since then I have been working with Northern Trust. Then I moved to Leap Finance. Then I was working with Stashfin, my past stint. So through and through, somewhere or the other, I was involved in this BFSI industry, I would say rather, and not just fintech industry. So I think this happened last year, August 2024. Me and my good friend and my ex-flatmate, we were living in Gurgaon, sharing the same flat, working in the same domain, and somehow it has happened that across these years, these 4 years, his name is Jayesh. So me and Jayesh, we have completely worked hand in hand and somewhere around the fintech industry itself. So that's how the potential of the idea came out. So we were just discussing it out that, where are the gaps exactly? Where are the gaps exactly in this fintech industry? We have lived through it. There's UPI, there's credit card, there's BBPS, all of it, yes. But, if you see currently fintechs, they are revolving more or less around these problem statements itself. So eventually we also revolved around the same. The initial idea was that we will develop tech stacks for banks and we will enable them to launch and scale products faster. So we can take an example of something like a BNPL, something like credit card management system, be it anything which a bank can consume as a financial tech instrument, and they can simply launch their products ahead. But eventually we realized as we were pitching it out to the banks that we are coming up with a proposition wherein you can take our tech and enable it on your platform, and yeah, that's it, you can go live with it. But the problem lies in the fact that their go live itself is very long. So we took a step back. Okay, like this is when 3 months have passed. August 2024 I'm talking about. Now this is when October, November 2024, 3 months have passed. So now what has happened is we have taken a step back and we, did a slight pivot that, okay, first we need to enable the banks to consume the technology we are curating for them. So it's not about they're not tech savvy or something, but the point being they are on a legacy system at the moment. So something like a core banking solution. I mean, when was the last you would have gone to any bank, if I can recall?
So I believe not in past 4 years, I've never went to a bank itself.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's say 4 years, like before 4 years, you must have gone to a bank, maybe for a small thing or something.
Yeah, even for a deposit,
So,
even anything.
Yeah,
anything,
be it deposit, as small as
Yeah.
a deposit. So, what are the chances that the bank person told you that the server is down?
I would say 2 out of 10 times that the server was always down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it is not.
But 5 out of 10 times they were on lunch. So it was a different story altogether.
Okay, I think that's a different
Yeah.
story on the lunch part. But yeah, the point being that the banks need this middleware wherein they can launch and scale their products at a much faster pace. So that 6 to 12 months of timeline wherein multiple round of approvals are there. There is a ops team, there is a reconciliation team, there is a finance team, all of it combined, and still some way or the other we are seeing that they're lagging. Okay. So now how our solution fits to this exact problem statement. So something like a CBS, we cannot replace it. Let's be honest, bank.
What is a CBS for everyone?
Yeah, so it's called as a core banking solution. So something like Infosys Finacle, wherein all the core operations of a bank run, that is something we call as a CBS.
CBS.
Yeah. So CBS is something you cannot simply replace in a bank. They have been going on and on through time. Multiple consumers are involved, multiple loan borrowers are involved, and multiple instruments are involved, which have been controlled and taken care through that. But banks do have something currently which we can consume, that is their APIs.
Okay.
So what we do is we take the existing APIs, they just have to integrate it to our solution, which acts as a middleware, as I said. Now, I'll tell you with an example over here. So let's say there is a reconciliation which needs to be done. I'll take a sample problem case over here. Someone missed their EMI repayment. Now you have to pay the EMI through NEFT or RTGS or something like that. This is an NBFC we are talking about, and not bank exactly. So the solution we are giving out is not just for BFSI, but it can be consumed by NBFC as well. It can be consumed by insurance companies as well as other players in the financial domain. So let's take an example of reconciliation. A payment was made, okay, or someone borrowed the money, they paid, and maybe they missed the payment. There is an additional interest which needs to be carried forward. There are multiple scenarios like these. So in the back end, there is a team which is continuously monitoring this and getting this done. So eventually what happens is the reconciliation process takes a toll wherein people are not able to follow through the SLAs or the timelines, and let's say somewhere down the line there are audits which need to be done. So in that case, again, they have to revisit what they had done along mail trails and everything. So my solution fits exactly in parallel to CBS. They have to integrate the APIs. The APIs will trigger a workflow on my system. The workflow will run the whole game. And once the output is ready, it will send it back to the system. And the best part, this sits within your system. So this is an on-prem technology we are talking about, and this is not external to the bank. So banks don't have to worry about that their data being exposed. Yes, being exposed. So in a way, it is a win-win for the banks. They get to have their go live much faster. They don't have to expose their technology, given there is a middleware involved. They can also cut down on the SLAs as well as a better consumer experience.
So in short, if I summarize that, your organization Aonami actually makes the banking system much robust, faster, and smoother for a customer experience because of the kind of tech you provide them.
Correct. That is there, and plus our proposition is that the go live of 6 to 12 months comes under 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks. So the new products also keeps on churning very faster.
Exactly. And let's say you have to. So what exactly a tech team would be doing in this scenario? They are basically changing the business logics, right?
Yeah.
They're changing the business logics. So what they are doing is they are taking inputs from the business team. They are changing the logics, and then similarly, the code is being pushed ahead. Now imagine my workflow being there. You just have to say if this particular result will end to this output, yes or no. So it's just simple. So my workflow is catering to all of it just by consuming the APIs, and that also my middleware is sitting within your system. So you don't even have to worry where the data is going because it is within your system itself.
Wonderful, wonderful. So it's basically empowering the banks to have a much stronger tech stack to build upon. Wonderful. So Pratik, that much said and talked about Aonami and the fintech space, but now I would want to shift the focus more on your entrepreneurship side. That how did you unlock this, right? So for that, you told me a very interesting thing that you and your roommate Jayesh, who's been the longest friend of your life, started Aonami, right?
Yeah.
So being friends to co-founder, how the relationship changed between you and your friend?
I think trust matters a lot. Being a friend, being a co-founder, anything, trust is the key factor. And I think till date, the amount of trust I have on him, and I can say the same for his side as well, that is unparalleled. Okay, so this is what I would say has been really critical and has been unchanged. Be it friends, be it co-founders, being running this together. I mean, we have seen multiple examples wherein two of the best friends have come together and found better companies. So I guess, yeah, I mean, that is one of the things I would like to highlight. And when we were friends, we used to casually talk about ideas, what we should do. Since we both come from a fintech background, it was fairly easier for us to understand what the other person is saying from a business POV. So there was one time when we were doing a credit card integration with one of the banks, and somehow me and him, we were again different companies. The credit card company, the POC who was handling both the accounts was similar. So now let's say once we are back home, we are discussing, how did the deal go with the bank. So more or less this industry, I think everyone knows each other in a way. So we were able to understand what he is saying, what I am saying, and somehow we came to a conclusion that now is the point wherein we can actually take a risk, given we have enough experience to put a thought around it, and not just risk but a calculated risk, I would say rather. August is somewhere we started thinking on the idea, not building on it.
So Pratik, it's been a very beautiful journey between you and Jayesh, from co-founders, from roommates to co-founders, right? And it's very blessed to hear the way you have actually understood and have that balance. But sometimes entrepreneurship is a very lonely journey, right? You have highs, you have lows, right? And that is where you actually also need a team to build around a product. It cannot be my vision, my passion, and my life. It's about translating that vision. So how did you actually do this while building Aonami? How did you actually inspire your first few hires, your team, and everyone to join with you?
Correct. So I think currently, if someone has to inspire someone on the vision part, you have to show them what we are trying to build, and it is a no nonsense business. So that is something I value personally, that me and Jayesh, we both no nonsense. Like, we just talk cut to cut business. We do not get into a lot of nitty gritties. We'll do this also. We'll do this also. No, I mean, having an idea, multiple ideas is good, but again, having that structured clarity is what people thrive on. So currently, if you see whichever company wherein the attritions are high, the structured way of working is not there. So that is why the attrition is high.
Understood. So that brings me to a very interesting question, right? So when you are a young founder, you don't have a lot of cash piles, you don't have money, right? Mostly you are working on a very slim line, right?
Yes.
How do you actually inspire people beyond money to join you?
I guess all the folks who are working with me more or less are of my age group itself. So this one of these forums like podcast, or something like newsletters, or something like blogs, be it, all of these information is readily available for them to consume.
Yeah.
And currently the cost and all, it's slightly difficult to manage at this initial part of your journey, but again, if you are able to make them believe on the idea, then yes, I think there is a possibility. Like, you don't have to tell them that you will pay them eventually, but down the line, when you get that you will be paying them for the time they have worked with you. Like, let's say at the end of 7th month, I get something out of it. But I mean, 7 month is a very long of a time horizon I'm talking about. I'll take a shorter time horizon, 2 to 3 months. So 3 months down the line, at the end of 4th month, compensate them for all the 3 months they have worked. Okay, and I think you should love the profession you are in. So they are also somewhere here and there or the other.
Yeah.
They are also feeling stuck. So it's my responsibility to take them out.
So it's also a good nature of a leader to pull people out of darkness into light, right? So that is what I believe as a founder. Sometimes you also do a lot. Like I still remember there has been days wherein we slept at 4 in the morning and woke up at 6 to do things, right?
Agreed.
And these kind of hustles are the things that you look in the like let's suppose 10 years down the line you will look in the past and you'll talk about that is what happened and these will become memories, right? There will be good days, bad days and everything, right? But when I talk about a initial stage startup, right, you will see a lot of initial stage startup actually don't move beyond the inertia of working in a chaos to slowly systemizing when they move through the stages of 1 to 10 or 10 to 100, right? So how do you justify that? Like when you are in different stages, let's suppose you are in 0 to 1 versus 1 to 10 versus 10 to 100.
Yes.
So how do you change your working style as a founder, your core team as a founder, and how do you elevate your people alongside?
Okay, so I think 0 to 1, for anyone who is working on a 0 to 1, I would recommend to do as much things as you can do yourself. So there is a approach which I follow. So if I'm getting in someone new, so let's say someone I'm getting in new for growth. So at least I'll try to get 0 to 50% of the job done. So if you throw someone a task which is very new to them, or be it even if it is not new to them, they have to work for you, and there is no cash component involved initially. So what you can do is at least support them with your vision. You cannot simply the perfect word would be order them, but be a leader. Put in as many hours as you can. Build with them. Build in parallel. So you are also aware where exactly the problem could lie. The more brains who have been working on a particular vertical, specifically in 0 to 1, is more beneficial for your startup. The more brains you put around it. Now, as we grow towards the 1 to 10 journey, wherein you'll be showing growth, you'll be making revenue. At that point of time, uh, your critical job is to analyze who is good at doing what. Yeah, so that is really critical. So you are putting the right people at the right places. So that is really important, is what I feel. And in I think 10 to 100 is wherein you have to put in who can do that thing for you.
Understood. So if I summarize, when you are in 0 to 1, you are actually wearing multiple hats as a founder, as a team as well. But when you move to 1 to 10, you start slowly categorizing into the departments that you are having.
Correct.
And when you move into 10 to 100, then you become specialist of what you do. That is what I believe you are trying to make.
Yeah, I think for 10 to 100, it'll be more like you have identified the set of folks who can
For one particular division or a category.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who can run the show, you being there or you not being there. So when I say in 1 to 10, identifying people is important because at that time you're seeing that scale. You cannot now wear multiple hats. You have to have those folks who are a generalist, but they do have a speciality.
So just now that brings us to the last segment of this podcast today. Thank you so much, Pratik, for sharing so many of insights about the industry, about your journey, about how does a founder should think, right? So it's the rapid fire round that we are going to play with you. It's going to be 5 questions that you can only answer with one word, right? So if it was Pratik of 2019, would he build Aonami?
No.
Okay, that's interesting. So let's suppose tomorrow, if you were a solo founder, right, would you think about starting up?
Yes. I would.
Okay. Now comes the question: why? Was fintech only? Did you choose fintech? Was it only cool for you, or did it actually mean something for you?
It means a lot for me. Not just something, a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
One advice that you would want to give for aspiring entrepreneurs and founders right now.
Be receptive to what people are saying. Talk to as many folks as you can. dive your head deep into a lot of materials which are available over internet and start executing. Don't wait for a day to come when a perfect day will never be there. The perfect time is now. The perfect time to execute is correct.
So you actually caught my last question, but okay, I'll change it. So last and the final question that I have is that what should stop a founder from not to start?
Maybe the conviction on the idea. I think that's really critical. People start up without having a conviction on the idea. I mean, some of the folks, not everyone, they see in and around people are doing something. They want to do something up there, which is not bad. But again, the last thing I said, talk to as many people as you can. Once you do that, then the motivation you get to execute the whole scenario is much higher, because now you have talked to people. You have that pressure that, I had talked to that guy. Tomorrow if I go back to him, I should have something to say. Yeah.
Very true, very true. So, Pratik, thank you so much for your kind words today and sharing so much of your insights that you have been through and taking us through the journey. So, that is where we've learned a lot about the fintech industry, about Aonami, and about the way you have actually nurtured you. Thank you for being there at our podcast, and I hope that Aonami and you both do well in the future.
Thanks a lot, Kevin.
Thanks a lot
as well. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.